Hello, my name is Jonna. Thank you for watching Relationship Advice for Women, where we answer the questions you ask to help guide you in the best direction that's suitable for you. So the first question someone asked is, how do you stop fighting with your spouse? Now, I'm not sure if both of you are passive or both of you are aggressive, or if one person is passive and if one person is aggressive. However, if you are, let's just assume you are not the aggressor. If you notice your spouse trying to argue with you or trying to pick a fight about everything, just be quiet. That's the best thing I could say. I remember I was reading, I believe it was chapter 3 of Will Smith's book last week. It was either chapter 2 or 3. And his mom said, she gave some advice about arguing with a fool. She just said, never argue with a fool, because from a distance, no one knows who's who. You may either understand that quote or you may not, but the whole point is, if you're disagreeing at some point and you continue going back and forth, both of you all are looking foolish, regardless of who is right. Okay? You're looking foolish, you're sounding foolish. So the best way that you can stop arguing with your spouse is to be quiet. Nobody can argue with themselves, right? Or if they and if you start arguing with yourself, you do look kind of crazy, right? So just be quiet. That's the best advice I can give you. Whenever you start speaking a fight, if he has a question, answer it, or just say, okay. Kind of be I would say, I don't want to say dismissive, because that can stir the pot, but I would say don't give in to the conversation. You might want to act like you have something to do. With all of that, you're staying quiet. So just be quiet. The second question is, what makes a man cheat? What makes a man cheat? I'm not a man, so I can just say what makes a person cheat. Insecurities. People can cheat because they are insecure with themselves, right? Or they may cheat because you are not, I don't want to say you, I don't want to blame it on you. However, they cannot control their temptations. To me, cheating is betrayal, right? If you cheated on someone, you betrayed someone. You could have just told someone the truth about what you're about to do, right? You could have been honest and say, you know what, I want to go elsewhere. I'm not satisfied in this relationship. Instead, you wanted to betray someone and go and venture out and do other things that you ought not to be doing. That's betrayal. Why do people do that? They have issues within. They have issues. Sometimes it's an issue of lust. Let's say you are giving them sexual satisfaction, right? They might just be super lustful to the point where they just imagining it too much, that what you're doing is not enough. They need to fulfill their lustful desire, or not. You're not sexually satisfying them, so they want to keep you, but they know that you're not going to be okay with them venturing off, so they just don't tell you because you're not. And that could be a woman as well. So people betray people because they're betraying themselves. They're betraying themselves at the end of the day. They cannot hold themselves to a standard. So because they cannot hold themselves to a standard, they end up hurting those around them. Let's go to the next question. How do you grow together with your significant other? Well, first, you as an individual have to be growing. If you have this, and that's something that I, for myself, I look at that as an asset. If you ask John, what's good? What do you think? What are some of your good qualities? I'll say I am dedicated and committed to growth, because I am. like I'm so committed to growth. I'm going to continue to grow. So you're either going to grow with me, or you're going to I'm going to grow without you. I'll outgrow you. So in order for you all to grow together, you both have to be individually committed to growth. Individually committed to growth. So you might want to have that conversation. If your spouse is someone who's not committed to growth, he's okay remaining where he is, you might want to bring those topics up to him. You might want to inspire him with your own growth. And if you don't want to leave him behind, help him grow. And by asking him, hi, what are your goals? What do you want to do this year? If he doesn't sound, fine. I mean, I got everything I want. If he sounds a little bit stale, you might need to introduce other ideas to him. Help him receive inspiration in other ways from other people. There are a lot of different motivational messages on YouTube that you can be listening to, and make sure you listen to it around him. When you're listening to certain things around him, he'll hear what's helping you grow, and he might like it. Sometimes our spouses respect other people's voice more than they respect us, because it's us saying it. Sometimes, like a parent, your parent has tried to advise you in the right way so many times. They've said something to help. They said, like my mom, she said when I was in college, I ended up grasping onto it, but she said, if a guy's interested in you, he'll come to you. Don't go to him. If a guy's interested in you, he'll come to you. I don't know why that never dawned on me, but I was like, really? Because I honestly didn't know. I thought, I didn't even think that. I just thought it was normal. Like he said, hey, come see me. I was like, okay. Dumb, but I didn't know. But I took her advice, and that's when I began to learn. I'm sorry, y'all, to learn who was really interested in me. So yeah, growing together. You have to listen. You have to listen, and if he's not listening to you, like with the example with my mom. Other times she would say something, right? I listened to her that time. Other times she would say something to me. I can't even give a specific example, but I wouldn't listen. Oh, about cleaning out your car, right? And this is when I was in college. So she would always tell me, you need to clean out your car. I would not clean out my car, but one day she saw me clean out my car. And it was because my pastor told me to clean out my car. And she just couldn't understand, why did you clean out your car when he told you? But I kept telling you that, and you didn't respect what I had to say. That's the way she looked at it. But sometimes different voices, I believe God has built different voices to impact you differently. So if you listen to a certain motivational message around your husband, a voice who he respects and admires, to help him grow, that might inspire him and move him in that direction of growth. Okay, let me go to the next couple questions. Now, this one is kind of long. It says, what does a guy mean when he needs space because of personal issues? If I tell you I need space because of personal issues, so I don't know if this guy is a friend, or if it's someone who you liked, or he used to be your significant other, he used to be your boyfriend. If your boyfriend tells you, I need space because of personal issues, that means he does not have the mental or emotional capacity to focus on having an impactful relationship with you. It's that simple. I have personal issues right now. I need some space. He doesn't have the capacity to be around you right now. He doesn't have the capacity to give you what you need right now. So let him have his space. And if he ends up getting over what he needs to get over, or healing from whatever he needs to heal, and he's ready to move forward with you, then he'll come back and pursue you when he's ready. So that's what that means. Just give him space because he's not ready. Okay. The next question, or the last question, it says, what would you do if you gave your man the trust and reassurance of having access to your phone and logins on that phone, and he takes advantage of it and puts it on his phone, and he likes to go through your SHIT as he pleases, and he pretends to be you at times and messages people off your account, and then when you change your password or login, he calls you shady and sneaky? Well, to be honest, he's being manipulative, because you just, like me personally, I'm not, well, I have my husband's login, but he doesn't really remember stuff, but he can have my login, me being married. You know, I don't give people certain things when I'm not married to them. That's first and foremost. I understand you wanted him to trust you, but if that's the reason that you wanted him to have it, so that he could trust you, that wasn't it. He needs to work on trust. He needs to figure out, why is he not trusting you in the first place? Why are you with somebody who don't trust you? And now you have to constantly reassure them of things. If they do not fix that issue within, they are never going to trust you, because it's a them problem. It's not a you problem. And when it comes to him remembering your password and then taking it and using it on his phone to start messaging people, pretending that it's you when it's really him, that's childish. He's immature. He's not ready to share private information like that, because he's violating that trust. He's violating that trust. You gave him secret information, and now he's going around catfishing people, because that's really what it is. Pretending to be someone that you're not. You're catfishing. He is not mentally mature enough to hold your secrets. He's not mentally mature enough to hold your secrets and keep certain things confidential and sacred. So yeah, you should have changed your password, but the way that he responded, I'm not sure how long you've been with him. But that was a childish response, calling you sneaky and shady. I mean, maybe you should have said, I don't know. I don't want to say what you should have said, because what it is he found out. He was going to find out, because he always on your stuff. That's weird to me. And that's a no-no. So if he got to be doing all of that, I don't know how serious you guys are, but you might need to talk about that. If he still want to, talk about you're shady and sneaky, and, if that's what he think, for me personally, I don't need to be with nobody who feel like I'm shady and sneaky. And I don't need to be with nobody who feel like they can talk to people pretending to be catfishing people under my account. That's just childish and immature. So let's continue with the question about, what has your parents done to harm you? Let me go back to stream up, because I have not been paying attention to. Okay, there we go. Okay, what have your parents done to harm you? This one says their father has undiagnosed mental illness, and their mother never shows emotions or taught them that it's okay. Or basically, their mother doesn't show emotions, and then she taught them that it's okay to not show their emotions. Their father has an undiagnosed mental illness. Basically, probably saying he bipolar, but he doesn't want to go. She calling him bipolar, even though that's not what the doctors call him. So, right, you as a parent, you need to go get that checked out. If you know something is wrong with you, and I can think of people right now, they know something is wrong with them, but they're not getting it checked out. That means you're not able to get the medication that you need to calm yourself down, so you can start treating those around you better. So if you as a parent need to humble yourself so you can go get the therapy, the counseling, the treatment that you need, go ahead and do that, because you're harming your children. You're harming your children by not taking the right type of medications, by not taking the right type of counseling to help yourself. You're harming. This person is an adult who said this. So obviously it harmed them that bad that they can remember it to say it in this group. So anytime I see things that parents have done, I think about myself, because what we're doing now is affecting our children. Even if you are a mother who has grown children, work on yourself, because you will affect them until the day that you die. The mother never shows emotions. That one's kind of tough, because your mother should be the one who comforts you. That's the one who you expect to be the nurturer. That's the one that you expect to be able to confide in. And maybe this person is missing that. Maybe this person really wishes that they could be emotional with their mom. They probably want someone to. They don't even know how to do it. They may not want to come off weird, right? Because they weren't taught to show emotion. And then if they try to open up to her, she probably make them feel stupid, because she doesn't show that emotion that they need. That's another thing. As mothers, as women, if you are a biological or adoptive mother or a spiritual mother, I would pray for that nurturing, comforting spirit, that caring spirit that would guarantee, not really guarantee, but make your child feel comfortable opening up and talking to you. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. Is this the second or third one? This one is weird. They forced me to marry the man I don't love. If someone forced you to marry someone, that means they had a certain type of power or control over you. I'm not sure what your culture is, but not sometimes, but many times those cultures hold a certain power, and you might need to break away from that. The fact that they were able to do that. That culture has a certain power, because nobody can make me marry anyone. That's because my culture doesn't have that type of power. But that harms you. If you're still in that relationship and you don't want to be in it, you were forced. In the U.S., a forced marriage cannot hold. That's why I said it must be your culture. You have to be willing to do something in order for it to hold. So if this forced marriage happened within the U.S., it is an invalid one. But if it happened outside, I don't know what your laws are. You might want to go ahead and check your laws to see if forced marriages hold weight in the court of law. But I would leave something that I was like, if you're old enough to leave now, then I would leave if I were you. But yeah, them forcing you to marry someone, it's like they didn't care about what you wanted. And in life, we're like, dang, like, at least let me have the man I want. Like, that's something we as women look forward to, love. Being loved by a man that we want and who equally or more so wants us. And to have that taken away from you, that's awful. To have that taken away from you is really awful. And for me, if you feel like it's not too late, I would leave. And the last one, like we talked about this a while ago, is abandonment issues. And this person was very specific with what happened. Maybe their parents divorced and they had to live in separate homes. Maybe one of their parents died and they died without closure on certain topics. There are a lot of people in this group who face abandonment issues. After my father passed away in 2010, which was 12 years ago, a little more than 12 years ago, I don't think I felt abandoned on the surface, but I may have deep within, because I would always, even up until today, I would always have dreams, right? That he left me And this is really weird, but he left me and our family, and he went to have another family with another woman. And I would call him and he wouldn't answer the phone, and it's like I was so hurt. I didn't understand why he was not, trying to reach out to me. I didn't understand what I had done. And then he would suddenly answer the phone one time out of 100. And it's like I had him that close and he'll slip away. It was awful. I don't know why I dream things like that, but I can just imagine how different situations of abandonment feel. So this is all we have for today. I hope that if you watch the replay, you were able to get something from that.